Good morning, everyone. This is NTP, and hopefully if I did this right, you should be looking at my WLToys transmitter and this fine specimen of a WLToys V272 nano-sized quadcopter. 6-axis stabilized. It's got LEDs all over, blue up front, red in the back. The blue stay on. You can turn the red off with the switch on the transmitter. It responds to all the rates of the transmitter from 40 to 100% very well, with a pretty good distinction as far as I can tell between the rates. Yaw rate is what it is. Not the greatest, and it's not the worst. It is stable. It flies well. We are outdoor at the park. I have flown here a few times. Hopefully, I'm going to show you that this flies well outdoors. It does do its flips. It does those very well. There is a nice little smooth spot of concrete here. There's a slight little breeze though, so I don't know how well I'll be able to do flying close to the ground, but we'll give it a shot with any luck. My hat is pointed in the right direction. My Mobius up there is doing its business, and I'm not talking to myself like a complete dork. White props to the front, red to the back. I don't particularly have a care as far as which one's which. As long as there's a distinction between the props, I can figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and turn the switch on. It's under here, if you can see that little tiny thing right there. This is the charge port. This is our switch. This, I believe this fancy thing right here is our antenna, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So here we go with power on. There's our little flashy LEDs. Give the transmitter a stroke. And we're not binding. Let's try that again. There we go. As you can see, blue LEDs up front, red in the rear. This one has one that's misbehaving. The one on the left rear in the video blinks, so I'm assuming it's a bad solder. The one on the right works just fine, but really not a big deal, and you can see you can turn it off with a switch there. Alright, enough talking, enough squawking. We're going to fly on 40% rates. The Velocity 272 from banggood.com. I hope you're getting all this. I'm going to try to keep in scene. The yaw rates there, you can see that's pretty slow. This is 40% though, so we expect that. That's full forward speed right there. And coming back. And hit that 60%. And then we're going to throw it up in 100% rates here. Wow. Again, not the fastest yaw rate, but I think fast enough for something that weighs less than half an ounce. And maybe hard for you to catch, but I am being attacked by either what looks like a bee dive bombing me or some other flying thing. I noticed that these small micros, those motors, they attract attention that way. Let's do an away from us flip. Very nice. Just a little bit of altitude loss. I didn't power up at all for that. Try one forward. Again, it doesn't seem to hunt too much. I don't have the drifting problem that a lot of people have had. I only have a few flights on it, and I've kept my flight times very low. Less than 2 minutes for the first 4 flights. This is the first outdoor quote-unquote demo of any kind I've done, so with this quad. And as you can see, it goes quite high, plenty high enough. I'm not going to even try to get it up as high as it can go. I don't have vision that good. I'd like to try to show on this concrete over here. It doesn't do too bad at low altitude. I'm going to try to demonstrate that. There is a little bit of a breeze, but I'm going to give it a shot. There you go. Not a perfectly stable hover, and there is some bob going on, but that's only 2 or 3 inches. And I would expect from a quad of this size for that to be a problem, a real problem as far as control. I'm not going to even bother with the rudder right now, only because I have a tendency to throttle up or throttle down a little bit and want to keep as stable a hover as possible as far as altitude's concerned. Obviously, I'm kind of all over a little bit there. I'm not turned into the wind like I should be. But anyway, here we go. And then a takeoff. I'm going to try to do a barrel. There you go. It almost stops forward flight completely during the flipping process, at least that time. I don't know if that's common. Actually, I think I was still moving forward and got forward flip instead of side. Yeah, I think barrel rolls in this will be a problem. I don't know how many minutes it's been, but I'm going to call this fun and bring it in for a landing. I'll probably not be able to hit my mark, but I'm going to give it a shot. I usually try to land where I take off, but this thing being so light and there is a slight breeze, and I just hit LVC. So I'm assuming this is sometime in the middle of the 4-minute flight envelope, I'm going to assume at this point. So there you are, the WLToys V272 looking at you. Let's get a light blink out of that, thank you. There we go, red lights. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to post some more of my thoughts and more video on the 272. We appreciate you watching. By the way, I just checked the motors. Not even warm to the touch at all in any way. Thank you, Banggood. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everybody over there. We appreciate your services and efforts. Remember, banggood.com, WLToys V272. That's the Velocity 272. Mini, ultra tiny nano quadcopter. 6-axis, stabilized, lovely little flipper and ripper. NTP's out.